Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Grapplers Academy. But today we're going to be looking at some more stand-up drills and looking at a couple of different options on how to set up and use an arm drag.
Yeah, so today we're going to look at just sort of like fundamental takes on the arm drag, give you a basic drill that you can do at home with a training partner, or sort of find a way where you can do this drill really easily. And just go through a few of the finer points of where to grab the arm, where to place the arm while you're dragging it, and also where to place your grips once you've got around the corner. So first things first, when you're going for an arm drag, we're trying to pull the arm across the body. So I'm going to take hold of the same side wrist with the hand that I want to try and control it, and rather than pulling it straight forward, because if I do this, Bond's just going to tie me up and put me into a body lock. I'm going to pass the arm across and my opposite hand's going to shoot underneath. Now when I'm doing this, I'm not trying to just grab the back of the tricep here, because there's a lot of movement here. There's going to be a little bit of delay when I'm pulling here, and Bond's shoulder joint, that sounds like a bit of a tongue twister then. Bond's shoulder joint starts to sort of start moving as well before his torso. So when I'm doing this, I'll show on this side, I'm cupping underneath the shoulder as well. So when I do pull, the whole body moves with it as well. Now, when I'm doing this and I'm stepping, I'm trying to pull Bond forward as well as pulling myself round. So I'm trying to do those at the same time. And I'll push off the back foot and I'll step forward here. Now, once I get to the back of the shoulder, my spare hand, I'm going to be reaching round the corner and trying to grab onto the hip. So for those who love good old Mikey references, the ASIS. Basically the bony bit at the front of your hip.
You've been waiting that for weeks.
So I've come through, I've grabbed the ulna and the radius, my phalanges, I've reached underneath the latissimus dorsi, and I've reached through, I've grabbed the shoulder, and I've stepped around here, and I've gone around and grabbed the front of the opposite hip, so the bony part that's up there. Now when I get to this point as well, I want to try and control Bond's posture, as well as keeping everything nice and tight and keeping well connected. So my chest is going to stay connected to Bond's chest and shoulder, so back and shoulder. I'm keeping a hold of his hip, and I'm trying to pull the hip around whilst trying to pull the arm the opposite direction. So I'm just trying to stretch out Bond. Now once we get to here, there's a lot of different options and entries that we can find. Whether Bond starts trying to square back up with me, I can let go and shoot in for a double. We can also start attacking the single leg, where we're here we can drop down and take that. There's a lot of different options we can find with it, even if we're going around to the back and taking the body lock. So it's a great tool for the kit. Now, a good little drill we can do to get used to this is Bond can put his hand on the shoulder, and all I'm going to do is circle round, take the wrist, grab the shoulder and step in. And you can do it on both sides or just on one side. Circle round and come in. And then over time, we can just go hands in front and then start to play it from this side as well.
Yeah, so just a real simple way of thinking about the wrist control, because you see quite a lot of people mess it up, is like outside wrist, inside armpit. It's just a really simple way of remembering it. See a lot of people getting confused here and they kind of reach for the inside and then they've got nothing to grab onto. They're trying to get a bit of purchase on the outside here, and if you're in a gi, maybe you could grab a bit of the cloth and get a decent pass around and come for the back. But it still works a lot better in the gi to focus on going on that outside wrist, inside armpit, because with that wedge there, as Simon quite rightly said, there's a lot less room to play. If I put all my force on this, you can see how much movement is in his arm before he even starts to move, whereas up here I'm dragging his shoulder in, and again, the more I can get him to move, the less work I have to do to try and turn the corner. So as I'm coming through here, if I can get him to step into me, I've done half the work that I need to do to cover the distance, as opposed to being here and then having to make a big circle around the back. So again, it's one of those good wrestling moves where you put a little bit of force and get the reaction from your partner. And he might be in there, give it a bit, and then you pull, and you've made him do half the work for you already. We did link these techniques where we talked about coming in on the double leg and the single leg. the principles of actually attacking those are the same, so you can go back and watch those videos on how to actually finish the double and the single leg, but in terms of the way that you set it up, it's about turning the corner, dropping the level and coming back in. So we'll link those in the description below as well. Go and check those out and try and link them in with this technique. And then we're starting to pattern together change. We're developing those branches of attacks, because in wrestling, rarely does one technique ever work and get you a takedown straight away. Now just trying to do a diving takedown from across the mat, you've got to kind of link them in and chain them all together. So the more tools you've got in your tool bag and we can link them together, the more successful your techniques are going to be. All good? Yeah, go and check us out on the Grapplers Academy, coached by Simon, Bonafide PT. We'll see you next week.